1027 WNEW, The Rock of New York with Blind Melon and No Rain. Good afternoon, it's Opie and Anthony.
Hello.
And we're ready to rock once again for you this week.
Yes, starting all over again on Monday.
Yes, thank you for everyone who's left their fart noises for the boss.
Can you believe it?
It made a great impression today.
We had a fun meeting with the boss today. He played back all the messages that everybody left him over the weekend.
Yeah, we're going to put some of those on the air today, actually.
Pretty funny.
Actually, and he also told a great story about his lovely physical.
Yeah, he had to go for a physical. Man, the older you get, the worse your physical exam is.
Yeah.
Because you remember when you were a kid, it was easy. You just, stick out your tongue. The most traumatic thing was grab the ballies.
Yeah, and then turn and cough.
Turn and cough.
Right.
But then you get a little older, and they're just probing and prodding you everywhere.
Well, our boss was just telling us just a horrifying story of what went on with his physical. Doctors tickling his prostate. There was Vaseline involved.
Well, I mean, you would hope so. Actually, KY.
KY, right. And
he used KY.
KY. Like, did you look the doctor in the eye after he did that? No, not at all, actually.
The worst part is when he said the doctor gets done, pulls his finger out, takes the glove off, and he's like, I'm going to leave the room now. There's some paper towels over there. You can clean up. Just like a whore. You just tossed aside. There's a 20 on the night table. I got to go.
He was violated. It just makes me laugh to know that the boss was violated over the weekend.
Totally violated. And then he's got to send in a stool sample.
Yeah. Well, remember, we've talked about this in the past. I was sick once, and they wanted a stool sample. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in.
Nothing sacred.
Sit down for a second.
I feel like I'm getting another one.
You're getting the finger again?
We just want to know about the stool sample. We were just about to talk about that.
I love the collection process.
This
was just a regular physical, right? There's nothing wrong with you just getting things checked out.
Not yet.
Okay.
I haven't gotten the results back.
Right.
I'm not feeling so hot now.
No, I wouldn't.
So the doctor decided you have to give a stool sample.
No, the nurse did. I guess the doctor did.
Yeah, all right.
And they give you a little envelope. And in the envelope, there are like 3 popsicle sticks.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's this little kit. Looks like a little litmus test kind of kit. And it's got a cardboard, like, those calendars at Christmas time?
Oh, yes, yes.
They pop the doors open.
Yeah, you pop the doors.
Oh, sure. At the holiday.
Right.
Well, these like 3 windows, and you open them up, right?
And you put your Yule log in there.
Well, no, wait a minute. Yes, that's the last part of it.
All right.
Next, before mailing it back into the lab.
Yeah.
The part of how do you get it? See?
Yeah. I would think you would just, use the toilet like you normally would, and then take the stick and maybe get a spray paint.
Nope.
How do you do it?
That's what the paper towels are for. They have extra strength towels in there.
That they give you?
Oh, yeah.
For this procedure?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apparently, as it's been explained to me, I haven't tried this yet, but you're supposed to catch your, kind of be...
All right, we can figure that out. So you catch it.
So you actually hold the paper towel.
I can't even picture where am I gonna be just doing this?
In the woods somewhere, like primeval man or something, like a wolf
in the woods.
So you actually hold the paper towel in your hand, and then
and then you just that's how you get your sample.
Okay,
that sounds great for a certain consistency.
Do you lay it out on the counter and then take these little popsicle sticks and
you take a swatch.
A swatch. Okay.
Look, in all seriousness, no wonder Daryl Strawberry didn't.
Right, you let it go.
Into the doctor.
Who would want to go through this, right?
They got to make these things a little more pleasant so people won't mind going so much.
Well, the best part about it is tell them what you have to do with the sample when you get it. Don't you have to mail it in?
Oh, yeah.
You mail it. It goes through the U.S. mail with your cards to your grandma.
Yeah.
Is people's, probably every day, probably thousands upon thousands of these things.
Yeah. They even make you have to put your own stamp on it. It's like,
don't get the ones you got to lick.
I don't know how much it's going to weigh.
Yeah. Come on.
There you go.
There's got to be a better way with technology today. I mean, it seems primitive that a guy's got to reach in there to feel your prostate.
Mm-hmm.
There's no camera, no Jetsons like screen you could stand behind. Some guy's got to take his finger. and violate you?
Now, did you like when the doctor used his fingers, or?
No guy's going to like that, Oh.
Well,
No.
let's see. Maybe he liked it. I don't know. No.
No one would like that.
Did you feel violated?
Did he save it for last? Was it like the last thing he did? Yeah, that's the closer. That's a big close.
Very nice.
The encore.
You know,
God, it's horrible.
You know that John Mellencamp is sitting in the lobby right now listening to this whole conversation?
Oh, oops.
He's probably sitting there going, what did I get myself into here?
The doctors will see you now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, congratulations, and hopefully everything's fine
Yeah.
with your samples.
Yeah.
Very nice. Okay.
Let us know.
Let me know when you go. I have a good doctor to refer you to.
Actually, I was supposed to, collect my sample. I just decided to blow it off.
You never mailed it in.
No way.
See, that's what happened to Daryl.
I just couldn't deal with it.
See?
But I turned out, that I'm healthy, so.
How do you know?
Yeah, that's
You don't
true.
know.
That's true.
I mean, he was in pain for a while and apparently had symptoms.
Oh, God. He should have went in a long time ago, they're saying.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right.
Eat grass and water all day long, I guess.
Yeah. Well, John Mellencamp is waiting to talk to us, so.
All right.
Thank you, Gary, our
Got
boss.
a better offer, huh?
Yeah. Did you enjoy the farts on your answer machine?
It was great. 47 messages.
You want to call a truce or?
No, I'm fine.
Oh,
Wow.
So you want the listeners?
Some of them are pretty funny.
You want the listeners to continue doing that?
No,
Just say the word.
I wouldn't either.
We could call a truce right now if you like.
At least tell me a joke or something.
They told you.
Something
Some of them
different.
are very good.
Were they?
Yeah.
We're going to cart a few of them up and put them on the air. So, all right. It's Gary, our boss. On the way, we got John Mellencamp, 102.7 WNEW, The Rock of New York. It's Opie, it's Anthony, and we got to say hi to John Mellencamp live in the NEW studios.
How you doing?
Good. He just told us a lovely little story about his prostate exam that he had recently.
Personal. Might not want to.
You got to share that with our listeners.
Well, when you get to be 40 years old, they make you get these things, right?
Yeah.
So I had to go get one, for insurance and all that stuff. And I walk in there not knowing what was in front of me or behind me, whatever the case may be. And I saw that thing laying there, right? And I looked at the nurse and I said, is he going to stick that in my rear end? And she goes, oh, yes, he is. And I said, well, you better start kissing me, baby. The minute that goes in, because... bad thing. Not a good thing.
No, not at all. Well,
Certain things that'll save your life, man. It's just sometimes you got to sit back and go, is it worth it? Is my life really worth it?
well, ask Darryl.
I told him, he was about 4 minutes into it, and I looked up and I said, you better get on with this, Jack.
Yeah, move along.
Get on with this.
Right, get it over with.
Wow.
And he hustled it up, and, but by the time he was done, I was kind of enjoying it.
Making another appointment for the next day.
Can you see me again tomorrow?
Wow, what a way to start an interview. But all right. How are you, John?
I'm doing great.
I was just reading an article on you. And
Nothing like getting on radio here and humiliating you.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
We do it all the time. Join the fun. So I was just reading about you in Entertainment Weekly.
Yeah.
You're full of angst.
Oh, no, that I saw that article.
Made you seem pissed all the time.
No, I know. I hadn't even cleared my throat and said those things before I sat down. I didn't even know he was interviewing me.
Really?
Well, you guys know that.
Yeah, well, actually, the mics aren't even on here yet.
Well,
so we haven't started the interview yet ourselves.
But I hadn't even, I was in some restaurant and the maitre d' hadn't even, said we could smoke in the building yet.
Yeah.
And I was just kind of talking about Polygram and the record company. And then once we sat, it was 3 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
It turned out to be the whole article.
Yeah.
That stuff happens.
Yeah, they just grab the thing that they think everybody wants to hear.
Yeah. You could really say something heartfelt and you would feel important.
Mm-hmm.
Never be in the article.
No.
Call somebody a dirty name.
Yeah.
It's all over the place.
Well, it said you don't like suspenders and cigars. So me and Anthony were going to get suspenders for this interview, but
Well, no, I just don't. Not that I don't like cigars or suspenders. I just think that there's a certain element of corporate people, who are kind of mucking it up for the rest of us.
Mm-hmm. Well, what do you think of today's music scene?
It's completely changed.
It sure has.
It's totally different, as when I started out, and radio's changed everything. It's all corporate America's changed the whole landscape of this business.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot of good music out there. But if you get to hear it is one thing. I mean, I don't know about your guys' playlist, but I know that every playlist in this country is tightened up to
tremendously.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just think back 10 years ago, and then think 10 years before that. When I first came to radio stations, They were still playing records. That's how much it's changed.
Look what we do.
Rolling joints.
Our turntables are over there. We just put our lunches on there now.
Yeah,
and our coats. They don't even use them anymore. But
yeah. So that even the technology changed. The playlist have changed. And then there used to be AOR and CHR. That was the business, right? There was 2 formats of radio. Now I don't even know. You gotta tell me now. What is it?
Right, alternative rock, soft rock,
this,
classic rock,
all this stuff. And I listen to these stations. And it's hard for me to identify the difference. I can identify like a real heavy station, but the rest of it, I have a hard time identifying.
Right. Are you into Hanson?
Yeah, my favorite band. I feel sorry for those guys.
That's true, yeah.
I do.
They're getting pulled through it right now.
Yeah. And, and then all of a sudden one day they won't be, and they'll be all of 15.
Right.
Has-beens at 15.
Yeah. Well, what do you listen to when you're not playing, when you're cruising around town?
Well, I try to get NEW in, but...
right on.
It's hard, in Indiana.
Well, don't you live in New York?
50,000.
Right, that's just not...
Oh, baby, go!
Don't you live in New York part-time, though?
Well, I have been, but I don't... No, I don't have a place here.
No?
No, I stay in hotels, but I've been here so much in the last couple months that I'm going to have to start paying taxes or something.
Right. Have you been following the Yankees? The whole town is just juiced for the Yanks.
No, I was in Chicago the other day. I was following Chicago, though. They asked me to sing the Take Me Out to the Ball Game, but I declined.
Well, you have to do the Harry Carey version over there.
Everybody was mad at me, because they all wanted tickets. Oh, man, you didn't do that. You look like I said, I didn't want to get on TV and absolutely humiliate myself, even though I don't mind getting on radio doing it. I don't want to get on TV and do it.
Right, exactly.
They're not going to ask you to talk about your colon on TV,
Well, they might.
They might, huh?
Yeah. You want to take a call? There's a bunch of people that want to ask you a question.
Oh, dear, who knows what these people are going to say.
Who knows? We'll try one. If it's bad, we'll hang up on that.
Okay.
Hi, NEW. You got a question for John Mellencamp?
Yes. I just want to know how he went through his little exam without being put to sleep. Because I go through that every 6 months. I got a mad bad stomach. And I get a dose of Valium before I go to bed.
He's talking about the pipe.
The pipe.
You got John on. What else can you ask him?
Well, how did I do without getting put to sleep?
Yeah, my doctor puts me to sleep. I get a shot of Valium before he does that to me.
Well, just gripe harder. And maybe you like the Valium. Maybe it's not about the exam at all. Maybe it's about the drugs. I don't know.
Well, that's the best part of it.
All right, man.
Actually.
Thanks a lot for calling.
Jesus.
Well, there you go. There's a sample of our listeners, John.
Great, huh?
Sorry.
So we got to deal with every day.
So the new album comes out tomorrow. You're reaching for the cigarettes, see? Now,
he said if I said one funny thing, I could smoke.
There you go. Light up if you got it. So the new album comes out tomorrow. Are you excited about it, obviously?
Yeah, it's my 15th album.
Yes.
15.
That's a lot, isn't it?
Wow.
That is a lot. A lot of people have gone by the wayside in that time.
I thought it was a lot until I read that when Frank Zappa died, he'd recorded 65 of them. 65
How do you even do that?
How do you do that?
That's impossible.
He did it.
Yeah.
He did it. And like Dylan's at like 53. So my little old piddly 15 kind of pales in comparison to...
You got some fun albums, though.
Yeah, well, I got a lot of work in front of me to catch up with those guys.
Now, the first band you were in was when you were in, like, 5th grade, huh?
Yeah.
What was the first song you ever sang? Do you remember?
I think Farmer John or something like that.
Yeah.
I'm in love with your daughter. You remember that one?
Uh-huh.
Oh, you could not. You're not.
I'm just nodding. I'll agree with you.
How could you still smoke? Come on.
I mean,
is that the one vice you can't give up?
It's easy. You just put a match to some tobacco and it burns up, man. How could I step after having a hard time?
Yeah.
Well, I've talked myself into that. I exercise. I don't eat the way I used to. I'm on the cholesterol medicine.
So you got to have the one vice?
Yeah. This is all. This is all I have in my life that I do this from.
Really?
Other than swear. Yeah. That's it.
No drinking or anything?
No, I haven't drank since 1971. I have not been drunk since 1971.
Wow.
You got to try it again. It's fun.
I think it's changed a little bit since then.
Could be.
And I haven't touched drugs since like 1972. Well, the last time I got stoned and drunk was 1972. I was in college. I was with a guy. I was riding shotgun in a car. We went over a railroad track, and I was in a junkie car. The door fell open. I fell out of the car, and the car behind me about ran over me. Wow. And I had real long hair, and my hair got all tangled up in the railroad track. And I couldn't raise my head up, and I said, Tim, and I thought, this is it, man. This is it for me with being drunk and disorderly.
And that made you change? What does your wife think about the cigarette smoking still?
She hates it.
Yeah, I bet.
She hates it. I get griped at by everybody. So why don't you guys gripe at me some more?
Yeah, you know why? Because you're talking about smoking cigarette, and everybody out there knows that you had a heart problem. But was that attributed to eating?
No, it was attributed to smoking.
What? Jesus, what are you doing?
No, it was attributed to having high cholesterol. You know those commercials on TV where they say, if you have high cholesterol and you want to enjoy your family, take this pill.
Right.
And you get this, your blood turns into glue. They're not kidding.
Really?
I mean, I used to be able to, if I would cut myself, this jelly stuff came out. It was red. It didn't really look like blood, but I guess I really got thick blood, don't I?
Wow.
My cholesterol was a 425.
That's high.
That's off
the scale.
Yeah.
You got that under control, though.
Well, you know what? I mean, this is how smart I am. In like the late 80s, doctors were telling me, man, you need to go on this new cholesterol medicine. Okay, yeah, I will. Am I all right now? They go, yeah, you're all right now.
Mm-hmm.
See ya. I just never did it, I'm like, like a lot of guys. It's like, oh, yeah, right, I need that. No, I'll get it later.
You don't want to deal with it until later.
Yeah. And later showed up.
All right.
Later showed up.
I think we have a better shot at a question here. Let's try one more, all right? Hey, Jeff. Yo, Jeff.
Yeah.
What do you got for John?
Hey, John, I was wondering if you ever thought of going out and doing an acoustic tour with just your fiddle player and bass player, kind of bare bones.
Yeah, oddly enough, I suggested doing that in 1987 to the record company I was with, and they looked at me, because I didn't think, I needed their support, and they said, we don't think that'll ever work. Of course, the next year they started Unplugged on MTV.
Yeah.
Hey, and I know why you still smoke. You don't want to lose your voice.
That's right. It's the best part of it.
That's right.
That's right.
Gives you that gravel edge, right?
That's right. Without the cigarettes, I turn into Streisand or something.
All right, Jeff, thanks for the call.
Thanks.
All right. We did get a fax here. People want to know why you don't like being called Cougar anymore.
I don't mind it. See, I mean, guys, you can't believe what you read in the paper.
Well, that's why I'm asking you. I'll find out from you.
I don't care. People can call me. I've been called lots worse things than Johnny Cougar.
Yeah. Well, because a lot of people, when they found out you were coming in, said, don't call him Cougar.
No, that didn't bother me.
Like the Niagara Falls bit. Slowly I turn.
Yeah, that's not true. I mean, that's something that, these guys that write in these magazines and write newspapers need something to write about.
Yeah.
So, of all the people in rock and roll, I guess that for some reason, I've gone through the biggest name transformation of anybody, right?
True.
So it's like, oh, he don't like it. I don't care. I just don't want it on my album covers. You know what I'm saying? And my name, nobody ever called me Johnny. Nobody ever called me Cougar. And then I thought, well, I have an opportunity to change it to my real name. I should. It's a stupid, phony name. I don't consider myself a stupid, well, I do a little. Phony, well, a little, I guess. Person. And I just don't want that stupid name on these album covers. This is what I'm doing with my life. I don't want some other guy to take the fall for me.
There you go.
Yeah.
Birthday. Makes sense. Your birthday's Wednesday?
Yes.
What are you going to do for your birthday?
Do David Letterman.
Yeah, I heard that.
Hurrah, yeah, get to go do David Letterman. So that's my birthday party.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Dave's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I like him. He likes me. It'll be okay.
Right.
Maybe I'll go out and have something to eat after we're done. I don't know.
Cool. I also found out today you got a book of paintings. I didn't know you were a painter.
Yeah, I've been painting for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
I could always draw. In high school I used to draw pictures of naked girls, and everybody thought it was funny.
We used to draw, just band logos on our books. That was the best I could do.
Well, that's, I drew that stuff, too. But, when I was growing up, my mom painted, and so I saw oil paint and stuff, and I've always kind of painted. But I started painting real seriously in the mid-'80s, in the middle of a divorce. So
it must have been happy stuff.
Oh, it was really joyful. Make a joyful noise. Yeah, well, I was just, I was having a terrible time with my lifestyle, so I needed to stay home, and so that kept me at home. And I like being able to do something when you get done doing it. You go, hey, look, I made it. See what I made today?
Yeah. Hang it on the fridge with a magnet.
That's right.
Actually, someone has good timing here. It says, was it hard on your career going through 3 marriages? Did you ever get depressed?
Well, what do you think? I thought those women liked me, see. That was really depressing when I found out they didn't like me enough.
Oh, they didn't like you?
No, they didn't like me. Of course not. They divorced me.
I thought you might have divorced that.
I mean, I don't want this to sound any way but in a humble way, but I was a terrible womanizer, and You couldn't blame. I mean, there would have been no woman on the face of this earth that would have put up with the. Let's face it, guys aren't worth a crap till they're 40. That's all there is.
Really?
They're just not worth anything. I mean, you can't trust them.
And you were living the life, too. You must have had them thrown at you.
Well, I don't know about that, but I was in a rock band.
Yeah.
I was in a rock band, and it was the 70s and it was the 80s, and there wasn't any of these diseases hanging around.
Correct.
And it was a whole different landscape in America.
Do you regret it?
No.
All right.
No, I don't regret it. I regret hurting the women that I was married to, and I regret hurting my children, but I don't regret being in a rock band, and I've been very fortunate, and I've done a lot better than I ever anticipated doing, and, I'm still doing it, and no, I don't regret any of that, but I at moments feel bad for those women and my kids, but everything's cool as can be. It's not like my kids are like, they don't ever see me, and I don't have relationships with them. I'm with them all the time, And I got 2 more guys. I got 5 kids.
Wow.
And I got 2 young guys who one is mean and one is tough. So these 2 guys just beat the hell out of each other every single. That's my job as referee now. I'm a referee between a 3-year-old and a 4-year-old. Beating the hell out of each other.
How things change.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to be doing an in-store Wednesday at Tower Records. Where is it? Broadway and 66, right?
It's the first in-store I've done, I bet, in maybe 20 years.
Uh-huh. And you're going to be playing there.
Yeah.
At, I believe, around 6:30 this coming Wednesday.
I don't...
Or more or less, maybe a little later.
7 o'clock.
About 7 o'clock.
Something like that.
People should get there early if they want a good seat.
But I've never even entertained the idea of doing one of these things because, first of all, when they used to do them in the 70s, they never worked. Did you guys ever see Spinal Tap?
That was
Of
great.
course,
And then sitting there, no one showed up.
The last one I did was just like that. I did one in Philadelphia in 1978, which I think was the last in-store I ever did. And I show up, and there's the local radio guy, and the guy at the record store doesn't know we're coming. There's no stock in the store. There's no records. There's no posters up. He didn't have a place for us to say, "What the hell are you guys doing here? What do you want?" And the guy goes, "Oh, I messed up. And now this,
like
and now this guy is like a president of a record company.
Really?
He was a local guy then and screwed up an in-store, and now he's president of a record company. So go figure that out.
So make sure you see John Wednesday, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Tower Records. He'll be playing live at 7. Actually, we got a couple of VIP passes that we'll give away to the 10th and 11th caller right now at 212-757-1027. Also, you're playing the Bowery Ballroom. When is that? Tomorrow night. That's right. Tickets still available? All sold out. So you'll have to see Four Finger Louie on the sidewalk for a ticket.
Scalp.
No, but we're coming back. I think we're playing Madison Square Garden in December sometime.
Okay, cool.
Well, either there or the Meadowlands. I don't know which one.
Well, I got a copy of your latest CD. We can play any song you want. Which one would you like to hear?
Your playlist allows it?
I'll play it for you. Who cares about playlists?
My favorite song is, I don't care. Play the single.
You had the chance to play anything you want. We'll play the single another 10 times today.
Okay.
We love that record.
Well, play the first song. That's my favorite song.
Fruit Trader?
Yeah.
Okay, off John Mellencamp's latest album. Can you stick around for a little bit, or
sure.
Should we? Okay, let's check this out, and we'll talk to John a little bit more here.
You guys let me smoke. I can stay all day.
That's fine. 102.7 WNEW, The Rock of New York. Another track from John Mellencamp's latest CD. That's Fruit Trader. He'll be doing an in-store this Wednesday on Broadway and 66th Street, and he'll be performing probably that song, maybe.
So now you guys got thrown out of Boston for what reason?
See, he's turning the tides on us, see? That's okay. We've told the story. We told the whole city of Boston that the mayor died in a car accident for April Fools.
I think that's kind of almost...
Almost funny. That's
almost
what
funny.
That's
almost.
what they said up there.
Well, but if you'd have softened it up somehow, they didn't get killed. Something else happened to him.
Well,
hindsight.
If you knew our show,
yeah,
it was obviously a joke. But then, like the French listeners, took it serious, and then it exploded from there.
Yeah, it was softened up just for the fact that it was on our show. You don't tune to CNN for a dick joke, and you don't tune to our show for hard-hitting news.
Right.
So
we had like hard news reports on stuff, and we never did news on our radio show.
Yeah, I know, but some people got no sense of humor.
No.
Well, that's what we found out.
Well,
yeah.
Actually, a lot of people had a sense of humor. It was that small percentage that didn't have a sense of humor we found were very powerful in Boston.
And you know what I bet?
What?
that those guys had on suspenders.
And they smoke cigars, John.
Right.
So.
Well, old-time cigar smokers, you got to admire. Guys been smoking them for years. But a guy that's just started smoking in the last 2 years.
Picking it up to be cool.
Yeah.
Just went out and bought the humidor and everything.
Yeah, brand new. Everything's brand new. Strains are new. Cigars new.
There's a lot of those bars in Manhattan, too.
They still are?
Oh, I walk by them all the time. I laugh. It's the middle of the day, and they're drinking their martinis and smoking their huge, thick cigars, yeah.
What's your take on what's happening in Washington?
I think it's... I'm for Clinton.
Yeah.
I think that... I think this is terrible. I think it's embarrassing. I think it's an embarrassment to this country. I think it's an embarrassment to everybody who watches it and pays attention to it. I just think it's a colossal waste of money and our time. And, there's so many other important things that we could be focusing on, whether he did that or not. I'm not saying that it was a good thing what he did, but I'm just saying, so what? And besides, what? Nobody thinks the President of the United States is a liar. I thought that's why they hired him. Yeah. He was the best liar. This guy's the best liar we got. He's president. I mean, what are we're surprised with? Like Kennedy didn't lie about the Bay of Pigs, and Johnson didn't lie about Vietnam, and and this guy's lying about having sex.
Right. You just don't think the Oval Office is going to be like John's tour bus was back in the 80s.
Well, but hold on for a second. Why would you think it wouldn't be? I think it would be. I mean, that's your illusion of what it is. What's the office like in this radio station?
Well,
who's working in it? A bunch of men.
Right.
You guys know what men are like. I mean, I'm not surprised at all. I mean, I'd be surprised if Nixon used it for that, but
he used it for other things.
but the rest of those guys, I don't know. I mean, I bet you Roosevelt.
I think it's just time to move on. Because, there's other issues facing this country that are pretty serious.
Yeah, I think both sides have lost their mind, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, because, you can't turn on a program on Sundays and that's all they're talking about. And these congressmen could be doing something different with their time and effort, like Social Security and the homeless and the educational system in this country and Farm Aid.
Well, the politically correct, it really irks me because, it reminds me of the 50s. I know none of you guys were alive in the 50s, but I was. And, there were certain things that you just couldn't do. You couldn't have your hair touch your ears. Oh, that's not good. And all these rules that the politically correct have laid out for us really it steals our freedom. Even though some of them are right, some of them are probably good ideas. But the thought that's getting rammed down our throat, I mean, like, let's take cigarette smokers, for an example. Mm-hmm. Right? They're down on us guys. Right. We are scum of the earth. You can drive down the streets of Manhattan and you can see us all huddling outside the building.
Exiled.
Yeah, pushed outside the building. And really, if you wanted to do what was correct, why didn't everybody just go nuts when all those guys that ran those tobacco companies a couple of years ago got on television in front of a Senate subcommittee and said nicotine is not addictive? We all knew they were lying, but you didn't see anybody pitching a bitch then.
Right.
They just kind of said, well, they're doing their job. It's okay. Of course, all those guys got fired, a couple of years later when, the truth that nicotine is addictive. I mean, who could even doubt that?
Yeah. Right? Well, it's because tobacco's a big business in this country.
Well, okay. Now, so if the politically correct want to be correct, go after those guys. Don't go after us poor addicts and make us stand out in the
Yeah. I just had to dump that curse out, but that's okay. You made a good point. I got it up to the curse.
But I mean, that's the whole thing. I mean, it's like if you really want to do something that's correct, don't go after the tobacco farmers or the people smoking the cigarettes. Go after these liars that get on TV and say, no, it's not addictive. Mm-hmm. Go after them. And that's just like one of 1 million things that seem a little bit more important to me rather than if I'm smoking cigarettes. I mean, I know firsthand what cigarette smoke can do to you. So, okay, I got it, guys. I got the message. I know what's laying in front of me, and right now I'm rolling the dice. I appreciate your interest, but quit worrying about it.
There you go. My favorite political thing with John was when Reagan wanted to use Pink Houses as the campaign song.
Well, I never did understand that, and I never did investigate it, It just seems silly to me. My only comment was to the people who asked me, I said, I don't think he's listened to the song.
Yeah. Absolutely.
He didn't listen to the song. So he must have had some young aide, you know, say, hey, this would be good.
Yeah.
I'm sure he never heard that song.
I listen to John Mellencamp when I drop acid.
Yeah.
Well.
All right, John, we got to thank you for stopping by. This was a thrill.
I appreciate it.
And you'll be doing the in-store Wednesday.
Yep.
7 o'clock-ish, you'll be playing live. That's Broadway and 66 at Tower Records. And Letterman Wednesday night and your birthday Wednesday. So happy birthday in advance. And thanks for coming by.
I want to thank this station for supporting me for the last 20 years.
Awesome.
Is this where I used to come? Like
different building back there. Yeah.
Different building.
Yeah. Yeah, but I remember coming up here when I was like 22 years old.
Wow. That must have been with Scott Muni. He was 70 at the time.
Yeah. Back then. What was the other guy's name that was here? Dennis Elson.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. That was a long time ago. Well, you guys weren't even born yet, were you?
No,
we're just
young guys.
Hey, stick around for a few minutes. I do believe we have more VIP passes to see John Mellencamp at Tower Records on Broadway and 66. We'll give those away in just a bit here. 1027 WNEW, The Rock of New York with Jimi Hendrix, Johnny Lang. Before that, his latest, Still Raining. It's Opie and Anthony. Once again, we got to thank John Mellencamp for coming on in and hanging with us for like an hour.
Yeah, cool guy.
He was very cool. I didn't expect that. I mean, I've heard he's a cool guy, but I didn't expect him to stick around for an hour. That was neat.
I think he's right as far as the magazines go. When you read interviews about him, a lot of these people, they just peg him as being a guy that might not be that nice.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see that.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
I didn't get that impression whatsoever. So
cool.
But we do have some VIP passes to see John Mellencamp, like in the front row when he does his in-store at Tower Records on Wednesday. He's going to be at Broadway and 66, Tower Records. I was going to just blow him away on the phone line, but you want to play one of our stupid games for him?
Yeah, we could do that.
Want to play Ugly Bride?
Someone's going to need the Sunday edition of Newsday.
Sunday edition of Newsday.
Yeah, if you got Sunday's Newsday.
Okay. We want to play Ugly Bride. You got to go to the...
You need page G27.
G27, okay.
All right, that's the only way you can play this game, if you have page G27 out of Sunday's Newsday.
All right. And it's a game we like to call Ugly Bride.
Ugly Bride.
212-757-1027. What, Rick?
It's called the Life section.
Oh, it's in the Life section.
Life section of Newsday. Yesterday's Newsday.
G27.
G27. And we have like another 8 pairs of tickets to give away to this in-store. So, you know, we just want to have a little fun with this pair, and then we'll probably just blow them out the regular way on the phones a little later on.
Do we explain Ugly Bride here?
Yeah. Explain it, Anthony.
Okay, look in the Life section of Sunday's Newsday, page G27, and you'll see the wedding announcements. They got the cute pictures of the brides and grooms in wedding dresses and stuff. These are just announcements that people have been married. Well, you know what we're going to ask. You have to pick the ugliest bride on the page.
And if you pick the one we think is the ugliest bride, and there's a match there, kind of like Match Game,
yeah,
we'll give you a pair of tickets to see John Mellencamp at Tower Records there for his in-store. In the front row. Yeah, that's
that's the winner.
That's the winner. I'm definitely picking her. So if you want in on this, 212-757-1027. Also on the way, Matchbox 20 and Sean Mullins doing Lullaby. Did you hear him do Lullaby on Carol Miller's show today?
Yeah.
It was awesome. Do we have that copy that we can replay real fast? 1027 WNEW, The Rock of New York with Matchbox 20, 3 a.m. It's Opie, it's Anthony, and it's you listening on this lovely Monday afternoon. Are you ready to play Ugly Bride, Anthony?
I'm ready. Okay. I have Newsday.
Okay.
From the Life section, page G27.
Right.
Hello? Wow, it sure is loud in here. For that organ player.
There you go.
Hey, pipe it down a little bit.
All right, there it is.
You get the wedding section. They got all the pictures of the brides and grooms who have recently been married. Very happy for them. We want you to get the same paper, page G27 out of Sunday's Newsday, and pick the ugly bride.
Exactly. And if you pick the same ugly bride that me and Anthony have picked, we will give you VIP passes to see John Mellencamp. Doesn't like that cougar anymore. John Mellencamp at Tower Records on Broadway and 66 this coming Wednesday. He's going to be playing live around 7 o'clock as well.
All right, Opie, I'm thinking right here.
Let me see.
Look.
Oh, without a doubt.
You got your copy.
Yes, that without a doubt is mine. But that's a close second.
Look right here.
Yeah, she's a close second.
Gotta be.
So this isn't going to be easy. Let's go to the phone and get a contestant for Ugly Bride. Hi, NEW.
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. Who's this?
This is Chrissy Pangea.
Where you calling from, Chrissy?
I'm calling from Centerport, Long Island.
Hey, my hometown.
Hey, we love you guys out here, man.
Did you go to Harbor Fields?
I did go to Harborfield, as a matter of fact.
Let's go Tornadoes.
Yes, go Tornadoes.
All right, you want to play Ugly Bride?
I do want to play Ugly Bride.
All right, you got the Newsday Life section from Sunday with all the lovely wedding photos?
Oh, yes, I do.
All right, before you pick the Ugly Bride, I must say that there are no ugly brides, just bad photographs.
Of course.
Okay.
All right.
They're all so
I'll
beautiful.
believe that one.
All right, Chrissy, who do you think is the Ugly Bride?
How about we're going to go with Tara Lee?
Yeah!
Tara Lee, that's it. That's the one. It was close. There were a couple of real slobs on the page.
Oh, my God.
Well, actually, Maureen was a close second, the bird lady, but me and Anthony definitely think Tara Lee is the ugliest bride.
Oh, guys, hey, we have the same taste in women. Wow, that's pretty good.
Man, I hope that's makeup that's making her pasty white, but...
Look at that forehead. Wow, that must have been extra material for a veil.
Yeah,
I guess so.
Yeah, she doesn't have a forehead. She has a 5 head.
But, I'm sure she looked beautiful at the reception.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure if her groom got drunk enough, anybody would have looked good. You know what I'm saying?
All right, very nice. Well, congratulations. You got a pair of tickets to see John Mellencamp at Tower Records. The Rock of New York, 1027 WNEW, Van Halen. It's Opie and Anthony. I'm looking at the TV, Ant.
Yeah.
What is going on? Is that impeachment hearings? Is it...
No.
What is it?
No. They are holding hearings, discussions, to see if they should hold impeachment hearings. They are hearings to see if they should hear hearings.
Are you serious?
Cha-ching, cha-ching. There's more tax dollars.
Cha-ching.
Out the window.
What about Social Security?
Oh, they got it. You know what? Look at this old... I say screw Social Security. There's a $70 billion surplus? And the Republicans want to cut our taxes?
Yeah.
I like that.
I can handle that,
and
actually.
Like, no, give Social Security.
Whatever.
Screw that. Yeah, I was watching some of that this morning, and everyone's going, it must be a bipartisan hearings. We must agree on certain issues of the Constitution. They're all a bunch of hypocrites, both sides, I've decided.
Yeah.
And it's easy to tell. Just switch the situation around. Republican president, and the Congress is predominantly Democratic, let's say. And the same thing happens to a Republican president. Every one of these guys would be on the exact opposite side of the fence they're on right now. Period. That's it.
You make a good point.
It's totally partisan.
I like what Larry Flint's got going on.
$1 million.
That's brilliant.
He's given away $1 million to anybody who'd come up with any sexual past of Congress.
Yes, you got to prove it.
Yeah.
But if you can prove you had an affair with one of these guys, you'll get $1 million from Larry.
Wouldn't that be great?
Larry rocks.
Larry Flint is funny.
He really rocks. And, of course, the big news. Everyone's talking about the Yankees.
Yeah.
Going to be playing the Tribe tomorrow night. David Wells on the mound.
The Tribe.
What? Is that politically incorrect still, or what?
Well, it's very... You notice the further... If they get closer to the World Series, hopefully they won't. But the closer they do get, more Indians start getting all PO'd.
Yeah.
That logo, very degrading to our people. Big smiling Indian. Look at them.
Yeah, as they use that to their advantage and they open up their casinos, tax-free casinos.
That is just making money that we would have made if white men didn't take our land. We still name our children after things that are close and precious to us. This is my son, Double Down, and my daughter, Little Shooting Craps.
We are going to kick the Tribe's ass.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Now, a lot of people have noticed that I've jumped on the Yankee bandwagon. Well, no, I did say 2 weeks ago that I am a true Met fan.
Yeah.
And I love the Mets and all, but I said when the Mets get knocked out of it, that I will, get together with the rest of the city and root for the Yanks. Simple as that.
It's very nice to have two sporting teams in baseball that you can really get behind if one peters out.
Yes, it is nice.
Yeah.
Do you want to play Piss Off an Indian today?
Piss Off Indian. We did Texas. We got those Cowboys.
Yeah, we did.
Cowboys in Texas. Now it's time for the Indian.
Well, actually, a couple of you guys out there got taken to the cleaners by the Texans. You didn't know how to play the game right, and you got used badly.
Yeah, that was rough.
So you want to try to play Piss Off an Indian today?
Yes. We will call Indians.
We'll put you on the phone with a random engine, and you can piss them off.
Yeah.
How's that sound?
Sounds good.
212-757-1027 if you think you got what it takes for that. Also, while we're talking about the Yankees, don't forget we have field box seats to the next 2 Yankee playoff games to be auctioned off tomorrow during the Dave Herman Rock and Roll Morning Show. This is cool. All proceeds go to the Children's Health Fund, and the games are Tuesday and Wednesday night at the stadium, of course.
Right.
All right, so we'll play Piss Off a Texan. If you got something else, you can give us a call. Sorry, Piss Off an engine. Yes, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay.
And we do got the Black Crows. Opie and Anthony just rocking through another fine show here. Had John Mellencamp on earlier.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun, and his birthday is Wednesday, and he's going to celebrate his birthday by being on Letterman Wednesday night, and also he's doing that in-store at Tower Records on Broadway and 66th Street. We got some VIP passes for a few more of our listeners this afternoon.
Yeah, we're going to play a couple of games.
He's going to be performing live, too, Wednesday around 7 o'clock at Tower Records, so it's going to be a must-see without a doubt.
You want to give away some passes playing Piss Off an Indian?
Yeah, we're going to play Piss Off an Indian in honor of the Yankees playing the Tribe. Actually, we got like 6 people standing by to play that lovely game. Now, we played it with the Texans last week.
Yeah.
And there were a couple ones that stood out, but in general, most people got used pretty bad by the Texans.
One guy just got totally bitch slapped by some guy on the phone.
Yeah, by the time he hung up, he felt pretty useless when he was supposed to piss off the Texan, and the Texan just got the better of him.
Nailed him.
He turned the tide on him. So we're going to do that. Also, you got an interesting little article there from the Sunday Post.
Well, the Sunday Post, once again, doing some investigative journalism, Opie, finding the best and worst subway restrooms in New York.
I don't even go to the bathroom in the subway. It's
no,
scary.
Who would?
Yeah.
Now, some of the best ones I've noticed, they're all locked. They say it's near a main street. It's usually left locked. This one here, 2 cops were stationed nearby, Church Avenue in Brooklyn. Workers actually spotted mopping and restocking supplies.
Wow.
Or Lefferts Boulevard, Queens. It had toilet paper and soap. Smelled a little because of inadequate ventilation. And it's always kept locked with a key available to token booth.
Okay.
Those are some of the best ones. But
I got to hear about the worst.
You know where the worst ones are. All right, let's start with Roosevelt Avenue, Queens.
Oh, man.
The E, F, G, and R. Both men's and women's restrooms were flooded, smelled of urine, and had trash strewn on the floor and in the toilets. No soap or toilet paper.
Lovely.
Men were soliciting sex in the men's room.
Guys are just pigs. They don't care.
Yeah. Downtown Broadway, Nassau. Toilets were broken, full of waste and attracting flies.
Ugh.
No evidence of recent cleaning.
Ugh.
How about Parkchester and East 177th Street, Bronx? The bathrooms reeked of urine and feces. Toilet seats were caked with feces. And toilet bowls in the women's restrooms overflowed with unflushed urine.
Yum, yum, give me some.
East New York, Brooklyn.
Mm-hmm.
Men were busy having sex in the 2 stalls, with others eagerly awaiting their turn.
Come on.
Guys are slobs, man. Guys were having sex. Men were busy having sex.
Now, what restroom is this?
East New York, Brooklyn.
East New York, Brooklyn, A. We should get someone to go into that bathroom with the cell phone. Someone who really wants to see John Mellencamp Wednesday.
If someone calls us from that bathroom
and tells us what is going on, I do believe we have some VIP passes to see John Mellencamp at Tower Records.
That sounds fun.
Where's the location again?
East New York, Brooklyn, A. Oh, that doesn't really give you much of a...
Well, it's a subway stop, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's disgusting. I guess any one of these. Hunts Point Station, Bronx?
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck. The cramped women's restroom was dank and smelly. And so were the patrons. The floor was wet, graffiti covered the walls, the sink was filthy, and there was no toilet paper or towels or soap.
All right.
Feces. More caked feces.
Caked feces?
I love that. Caked feces.
Oh, man. All right. You want to get a listener in one of these bathrooms?
Yeah.
And we'll have some fun with them, and then we'll send them to John Mellencamp?
Yeah.
If you got a cell phone and you could get your ass to one of these bathrooms, give us a call, 212-757-1027. hey, it could happen.
Never know.
Our listeners are just crazy enough to maybe do this. It's Opie, it's Anthony.
Hey.
And something exciting is going on behind the scenes here, Anthony.
Working.
We're working on something that could be very, very cool. We had John Mellencamp in here earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? We know for a fact he's doing an in-store at Tower Records on Broadway and 66th Street, Wednesday afternoon.
Right.
He's going to get down there after he tapes Letterman, and he's going to perform a few tunes.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Anthony had such a great interview with him, and really, we just got along with the guy. We're starting to think that maybe we should broadcast our show from Tower Records Wednesday. We haven't met our listeners yet.
Yeah.
It'd be a great opportunity to get out there and see what you guys are all about, and you guys could see what we're about, and we could check out John Mellencamp together.
That'd be cool.
Not only that, we're working on this. Nothing is set in stone, but it's starting to come together slowly but surely here. We may broadcast John Mellencamp live on the radio Wednesday when he does this little acoustic show at Tower Records.
Aha.
So I'm just giving the listeners a little heads up. This could be very, very cool.
We got to wait for the engineers to see if they can do this.
They're wheeling and dealing behind the scenes still. It's definitely not set in stone, but things are coming together.
All right.
Mellencamp will definitely be there Wednesday for the in-store, and he definitely will be playing. Now, the two things still to be figured out, are we going to do our show live Wednesday from Tower Records?
Yeah.
And will we be able to broadcast John Mellencamp's performance live here on NEW?
Well,
if I was a betting man,
I would say yes.
I think it's all going to come together, so
that's what I would say, too.
I think it would be so cool, because we've been here for 4 months, and we haven't been out yet.
They don't let us out.
Well, they were kind of scared at first, but now, the audience is warming up to us a little bit. Just a little. And we'd like to meet some people, see what you guys are all about. I think it would be cool. And I think this would be the perfect opportunity to do that, to finally get our faces out there.
Wednesday afternoon.
So you got to keep listening to NEW to see if, how this all comes together.
Okay.
All right? We also have people standing by to play Piss Off an Indian.
All right.
And you got a weird story in the paper about how they're putting beepers on babies or something like that?
You know when you go into a store, like a department store, and they got those big white tags hanging from the jackets and stuff so you can't run through the door. It goes like beep, 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 beep.
Yes.
They are now sealing up the baby's umbilical cords with these devices. They snap it on the umbilical cord and put them back in their little cribs so no one could steal them.
This is what it has come down to.
You need, like, low jacks for your babies now. It's amazing it's gotten to that. Why not just tattoo one of those UPC codes on them?
Yeah. And
scan them.
Scanner.
Yeah. Beep, like a checkout thing at the hospital. You can just check your baby out.
Beep. We're not too far from that, actually.
I bet we're not.
No.
It might come in handy for, medical records or something.
They're saying we're right around the corner from everyone having their own website, like when they're born.
Really?
And like a phone number. Like
have all your info on a website?
Yeah, and when you're born, you're going to be given like a phone number, like you're given a Social Security number. And that'll be your number, because everyone's going to have their own number eventually.
Remember when 1984 was here and everyone's going, hey, it's 1984, man, Big Brother, got to look out, people are watching you, the government can check up on you at all times. And everyone laughed.
Yeah.
You never really understood how it could ever get like that. Well, it's starting to sink in.
It's getting closer and closer. Me and Anthony, when we're having a slow day, we have these laptops in the studio. We just check out cameras that are on, around New York.
You won't believe how many cameras are watching you. I saw a whole TV show and read in the paper. You're on camera in New York City more than you're off camera.
No way.
I didn't even know that. Man. Whether you're walking down the street or, dude, look out this window. What do you see right there? It's a camera. I swear to God, you probably can't get your head around here enough, but there's a camera right there looking at the window. And it's not on our building. When you go into a store, any store you go into,
pretty much
from a bodega to a Saks, there's a camera on you at all times.
Yeah.
Banks, walking down the street, I could punch up Times Square, I could punch up Madison Square Garden, just looking at people.
That is wild.
You're on camera more than you're not these days. When you're driving, you're on camera.
I read a story about a small town, I think it's in the Midwest, where the whole town has a camera.
Yeah.
And the police force, most of them just kind of sit in a building and just stare at cameras to see what's going on. And you cannot go anywhere in this town without having a camera on you. And that's how they keep track of what's going on with the crime and stuff.
The only difference in New York is they're not like run by one central agency.
Right.
Like there's security cameras for just stores, which the store owner uses, and traffic cameras that maybe the news uses, and various security cameras, but they're not centralized. I'm not saying they can't be.
Mm-hmm.
How do you know?
That might be the next step.
Exactly.
All I know is I do a lot of driving in Midtown. Me and Anthony joke about this. I'm going to open up my mailbox one of these days, and how many tickets am I going to have?
Like 50 are going to fall out for running red lights.
Yeah.
Which is another thing with that.
Well, that makes
cameras up for.
What's interesting, that makes you paranoid. When Anthony drives into town, like when we drive anywhere else, Jersey or the Island or in Westchester or something, Anthony will blow red lights like no problem, like blowing out birthday candles.
It was yellow a minute ago, I'm sure.
But in Midtown, Anthony's paranoia gets the best of him, and I haven't seen you run a red light yet. And
no.
I go, Ann, why don't you run the red lights? Well, you never know. I don't want to get that photograph in the mail.
It works. I'll tell you, it works. Just thinking that they might be out there watching you.
But I'm the other way. I'm like, screw it. So I honestly might have a FedEx package come to my house soon with a pile of pictures.
You know what it was with me? After so many years of playing police Pac-Man because my license was suspended and this, and it all derived from like a bald tire or my inspection was overdue. And it cascaded into me being wanted for murder for something. That would always be the way it was. Oh, yeah, this was, I had a taillight out 18 years ago. $850,000, please. Come on.
Now, what is police Pac-Man, Anthony?
That's where you drive from point A to point B, not necessarily the easiest and fastest way, but the way that the police don't take.
I see.
That's police Pac-Man. It's usually played on nights like New Year's Eve.
In and out of neighborhoods and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Side streets, back streets.
Right.
Things like that. You drive nice, slow, obey the rules, and get yourself home.
Why is your wife laughing? Oh, okay.
She knows.
Yeah, all right.
But it took a long time for me to get my license back in order, and it's been, knock wood, squeaky clean.
Yeah.
For 3-4 months now.
Very nice.
So
that's lovely, Anthony.
I'm insuring my lug nut this week.
Yeah. See what you got to do. If you speed, you got to do what I do. You got to speed in different states.
Oh yeah. So you wound up getting tickets in Vermont.
I got a speeding ticket in Connecticut, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, and Vermont.
Yeah.
I got 4 in the last 2.5 years, and they haven't caught up with me yet. Look at me telling everyone on the radio.
They will. Oh, they haven't got me yet.
27 WNEW, The Rock of New York, our new pal, John Mellencamp. Your Life is Now off his latest CD that is going to be released tomorrow, I believe. And we had John Mellencamp on the show earlier today. Had a lot of fun with him.
Yeah.
And going into, a lot of people warned us that, he has a short fuse and don't call him John Cougar and all this stuff. The guy was so down to earth and cool, it wasn't even funny.
Yeah, I think it's the writers. They give him the bad rap.
Yeah, no, he was a good guy. We had a lot of fun with him. And we're trying to get the details together, but things are starting to shape up here.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what's definitely happening. John Mellencamp's doing an in-store Wednesday at Tower Records on Broadway and 66th Street. He's going to be there around 7:15. He's going to play a few songs. He's going to do a little in-store, sign copies of his CD, and play. All right? That alone is cool. We're trying to jump in on this, me and you.
Yeah.
We haven't been out yet. We were talking to John off mic. He sounded cool, and we're like, what the hell? Let's go down there and broadcast our show. So it's looking like me and you are going to broadcast live, our first live appearance down here in New York at Tower Records. So people could stop on by, check out John, see what we're all about. We'd like to see what you guys are all about. And the final piece of the puzzle, we're going to try to put John Mellencamp on the air performing live from Tower Records Wednesday.
Now that'd be cool.
Yeah, the whole thing would be cool.
Yeah.
So keep listening to NEW for details as we put this thing together, okay?
All right.
We got somebody standing on hold here wants to play Piss Off in Indy in honor of the Yankees playing the Tribe tomorrow. David Wells on the mound.
We played Piss Off a Texan.
You didn't think Piss Off a Texan went that well, Ann?
I think the Texans beat up on our New Yorkers.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the Yankees obviously kicked the crap out of the baseball team, but our callers couldn't do battle with the Texans.
I think it was like 50-50. Like half the New Yorkers, got a good piece of the Texans' ass, but there were a couple Texans that fought back hard.
Yeehaw.
So we're looking for better results this week as we play Piss Off in India.
Okay.
This will be the first one. Let's see how this guy does. Matt, you want to play Piss Off in India?
Sure do.
All right, you think you could do a good job for us?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can piss someone off. That's not a problem.
Well, some of the guys last week said the exact same thing, and they were weak.
Yeah, those guys are stiff. I got it. I got what it takes.
Are you ready to lay into these guys?
I'm ready to lay into these guys.
All right, here we go, bro.
All right.
Ramirez Marketplace Restaurant, good evening.
Hey, good evening. Hey, you follow the Cleveland Indians?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, you do. Good, big Indians fan?
Yeah.
Dude, how pissed are you guys that you guys could have been the Atlanta Braves, man, with that pitching staff, except for one drunken boat rider, Bob Ojeda, huh?
Pardon me?
Just one sudden, that's all it took.
Yeah?
Wiped out you guys. You guys could have been great, but now you guys, middle of the road, you do get it, you guys do suck, don't you? I mean, that staff is pretty horrendous. But one drunken boat ride, that's all it took.
Pardon me?
Most of you guys are drunk in Cleveland, aren't you, anyway? Drunk, go bowling. You guys lost your football team. I mean, you guys are pretty lame, aren't you, in Cleveland? Mistake by the lake, that's what you guys are called, right?
Who is this?
What do you think it is? This is Bob Ojeda. I'm still pissed that I'm not playing for the Indians anymore, man.
Are you serious?
Damn right, going out drinking. Of course I am. I don't know what to do with myself now. All the bowling alleys, no one will let me in anymore. I drink too much.
You should drink some more.
Well, I'm from Cleveland, man. We gotta drink. That's all there is to do out there, right?
That's it.
That and, scoop fat chicks.
That's all.
That's all there is. Like
That's
that goofy-ass Indian on top of that hat.
That's what I'm saying.
That feather band to an ace bandage.
What?
That goofy-ass Indian. Is that Bob Ojeda's last smile before he slams that dock?
Okay, no, I'm looking at you.
Dude, I think he hung up.
I know. I think he hung up, too.
You were just getting warmed up, too, man.
I know, man.
That was awesome.
Man.
Why, thank you.
You want to go see John Mellencamp?
Sure.
All right, Tower Records, Wednesday. He's going to be performing live starting around 7. We're going to give you some VIP passes. That's at Tower Records on Broadway and 66th Street. Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
All right, hold on the line, and we'll get some info from you.
All right, cool.
Opie and Anthony. 1027 NEW.
It's Opie and Anthony. I can't believe we can't get anyone to go into those bathrooms, Anthony.
Oh, I'm just stunned myself. We can't get anybody to go to Hunts Point Station in the Bronx to go check out the toilet in the subway?
No, I guess the Post ran a story, worst bathrooms in the New York area, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
And a bunch of people calling, going, there's not a chance in hell that you would get a white person to go in any of those bathrooms.
My buddy Tom called and he said, you think you're going to get a white guy to go to Hunts Point with a cell phone and leave his car?
Yeah, why not?
Because he wouldn't get past boot, doot, doot before he just got pummeled.
It was for the John Mellencamp VIP passes. We wanted to see how bad these bathrooms really were, so we wanted to, get one of our listeners in the bathroom to describe it. That's all.
Maybe if we're giving away Puff Daddy passes, we give people to go down in that bathroom.
And how does your friend Tom know about these bathrooms?
He used to live out there.
Yeah.
In that area. He said that when there was a meat packer strike? He was talking about a meat delivery strike. He goes, that's the same neighborhood where the people during the strike went to the Bronx Zoo, stole a gorilla, killed it and skinned it, and hung the meat in the window.
Oh. Man, that's harsh.
You gotta love it.
And he's talking about the hookers are just naked in that area?
He goes, the hookers walk around completely naked. They don't even not even under the guise that they're regular women just walking around.
Yeah.
They're just naked. What you want, baby?
Wow.
What you need, baby? East New York and Brooklyn, another great bathroom. Parkchester and East 177th Street in the Bronx. Caked feces on the toilet seats.
Man.
And, of course...
Where's the bathroom where the guys have sex in the stall while you're waiting to use it?
Roosevelt Avenue, Queens. They said men were soliciting sex in the men's room, but in East New York, Brooklyn, the A, men were busy having sex in 2 stalls while others eagerly waited their turn. It says in the paper, eagerly. Like this guy must have been watching this and went, man, these guys are really eager. Done yet? Come on.
I can't understand why we can't get any of our listeners to go into these bathrooms.
Oh, yeah. I don't understand why, Opie.
All right.
Would you go down to one of those bathrooms?
Hell no. I'm not that brave.
No.
We should send Rick.
Hey, Rick, you want to go down there?
Sure, I'll go.
You could go to the East New York one.
Rick will go?
Eagerly awaiting your turn.
Will you go like tomorrow?
Yeah.
Wow, Rick will go for us.
All right.
Which one? We got to pick out the nastiest one. Do you want a bodyguard? No? Okay.
I would say Parkchester and East 177th Street in the Bronx is the worst.
Is that the one where they're having the sex in the stalls while people eagerly await?
No, that's Brooklyn. But this is the one where just like it looks like they had a crap party in here from what they're saying. It looks like they were having a crap fight with each other for some reason. Howdy-ho, Carl! It was just caked on everything for what they're saying.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. You really will do this tomorrow, Rick?
I'll do it.
You don't want any support team or anything? Really?
No?
Wow,
No.
he's pretty brave. All right, we'll get into
Maybe
the...
he's familiar with the... what are you saying there, Rick?
He'll do it for us.
All right, cool.
So he's going to take one for the team.
Maybe literally.
Very nice. Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Rosie. Listen, I want to tell you something. I thought your boss, Gary, was a big ass wipe because he didn't think farts were funny.
Yeah.
And so what I did this weekend, when nobody was around, I got naked and I straddled my 1999 tape recorder and I let one rip. And I was afraid that I was going to dookie when I did it, but I concentrated and I grunted and I let one rip just for Gary Wall, and it was so liberating. Gary, get a life, baby. Farts are funny.
All right, so you left one of the farts this weekend?
Yes, I did. I had to put in the tape recorder because I can't do it on command.
All right, you're annoying. We're going to play some of those farts in a little while, though.
Great, I'm listening.
All right.
Bye. You guys are great.
Thank you. Now, Anthony, how many fart sounds did he get on his voicemail over the weekend?
I don't know. It was a lot, though. Well over 50, I think.
Well over 50? It's Opie and Anthony.
Hey.
I figured out Gary's voicemail.
All right, we could play back some of his messages.
Yeah, I could get into the archives.
All right.
If you weren't listening Friday, we played the top 5 bits that our boss hated.
Yeah.
And he had a problem with a couple of the farting bits we did last week.
Yeah, I don't know why.
And we had to explain to our boss that fart equals funny. It's like the first rule of comedy that everyone learns.
Right.
So then we invited the listeners to, over the weekend, if they felt one building up, to call our boss's voicemail and leave a fart. Or your comments about farting on his machine. Well, when we sat down for our meeting today, the boss said he got like 60 voicemails from drunk listeners farting into his voicemail while he's trying to do business.
That's showing him. That's showing him.
So he saved like 10 in the archives here.
All right.
So let's play them.
Gary Wall.
You have 10 old archived messages. First message. Hi, Gary. This is Rosie. Farts are funny, you ass wipe. End of message. Next message. Hi, Gary. This is Diane Martin, and I just want to say one thing. Farts are funny. End of message. Next message.
Hi, Gary. This is Betty Boop. I think farts are wonderful. I love Skid Marks. I love you guys. I love the show. But I don't love that you don't love farts. Farts are beautiful, baby.
Brother. Jesus.
End of message.
Yeah.
Next message.
That's
End of
Night Rider.
message.
Night Rider? Yeah.
Next message.
Fart, 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 fart.
End of message. Next message. End of message. Next message. End of message. Next message.
Hello, Gary. Gary, this is Mike. Farts are cool. Everybody digs farts. This was the best show I've ever heard. Keep farting on, okay? Thank you.
End of message. Next message.
Hello, Gary. You've heard of Kids R Us, Toys R Us. They should have Farts R Us.
End of message. Next message.
Hi, Gary. You sound really sexy. This is for Opie and Anthony. Wait a minute.
messages. Main menu.
And there you have it.
Wow.
Our boss's voicemail from the weekend. He had to come in Monday and deal with that.
She sounded hot.
Yeah, he's trying to set up a live broadcast with John Mellencamp at Tower Records, and he goes to his voicemail expecting important calls, and he had to deal with
farts.
He gets farts from our listeners. You guys rule. Definitely. Opie and Anthony had a fine show today. A good start to another work week here.
A lot of fun, yes.
Got to thank John Mellencamp for stopping by. He was awesome. He opened up, and it was very, very cool to meet him for the first time.
Yep.
Don't forget, he'll be doing that in-store Wednesday at Tower Records on Broadway and 66th Street, and he'll be performing live some acoustic numbers with some of his buds at around 7:30-ish.
And we're working out doing our show down there.
Yeah, I think we're going to work out all the details where me and Anthony broadcast live so we can finally meet you guys, see what you're about, you can see what we're about. And also, we're working on the details of broadcasting John Mellencamp's performance on the radio Wednesday at 7:30. So just stay tuned to NEW for all the details on that.
Right.
Ugly Bride was a huge success today on the Opie and Anthony show. Thanks for playing that.
I think that could become a weekly event.
Yeah.
Just save your Sunday news days.
Yes.
Because they put all the pictures of the brides in there, the brides and grooms.
Or actually, next week we'll play with the Jersey folks as well.
Oh, we could do that too, sure.
Yeah, we'll get the Jersey papers.
Yeah.
The Piss Off an Indian, pretty good start so far.
Yeah, that guy was good.
We'll get more people to do that tomorrow and, the rest of the week. Hopefully you got some chops to you. You can call in for that tomorrow.
Yes.
See, a lot of different little things going on the show.
Of course.
And then we got some guys that want to check out some of these bathrooms tomorrow. We had a story on worst bathrooms in New York.
Yeah.
You want to give out those locations again just in case people want to get a heads up and maybe get to the bathroom for early on the show tomorrow?
Well, these are all the worst bathrooms in the subways. We got Roosevelt Avenue, Queens, the E, F, G, and R, I guess, are really bad. Downtown Broadway, Nassau. The 4, the 2, the A, and the J. Parkchester and East 177th Street. That's in the Bronx. The 6 train, you're going to see a lot of caked feces from what they're saying.
Okay.
East New York, Brooklyn, the A train. Men busy having sex in the 2 stalls with others eagerly awaiting their turn. And the Hunts Point Station in the
Bronx. I hope someone gets to that bathroom tomorrow. That's my favorite.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, okay. Is that it?
Hunts Point Station in the Bronx.
All right.
Another one, really bad. But these guys want to go on a safari, yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people, so if you could get your butt to one of those bathrooms for tomorrow's show, first...